Here are 5 misconceptions about nutrition. 1. A high-fat diet leads to becoming fat. It makes intuitive sense, right? When comparing calories per gram, a gram of fat has over twice as many calories as a gram of protein or carbohydrates. But when comparing simple carbohydrates like starch and sugar to fats, studies indicate that these carbs contribute far more to weight gain than fat consumption. A systematic review concluded that eating less carbohydrates in one's diet is more effective than a reduced fat diet in lowering weight over a period of 6 months. They also found that patients were easily more able to stick to a diet of low carbs, indicating that reducing carbohydrate intake is an easier route to go. Of course, a high intake of fatty foods will still lead to unhealthy results, but fats are an important part of the diet and are recommended by experts to be part of a natural, healthy diet. At the end of the day, the total amount of calories being consumed is what matters, and studies show that it's easier to reduce caloric intake when reducing carbohydrate intake. 2. Saturated fat is bad for you and in particular leads to an increased risk for heart disease. Let's talk about fats a bit more, shall we? Saturated fat is generally depicted in the media and in advertising as a dietary no-no amongst the fats, and that reducing it in one's diet can lead to improved cardiovascular health. However, this is a misconception that originated from a controversial study in the late 50s called the 7 Countries Study. While it identified a correlation between high consumption of fat and heart disease, numerous criticisms from reputable scientists have been raised over the years, including the exclusion of many countries that did not fit in with an expected model of high fat consumption to high rate of heart disease. A recent systematic review and meta-analysis in 2010 evaluated 21 prospective cohort studies with over 350,000 human subjects. The result? No significant evidence of association or correlation between dietary saturated fat and cardiovascular disease and/or stroke. Your meats, cheese, and butter, thankfully, are not slowly killing you. 3. Multivitamins are all-purpose protectors against disease. Multivitamins are helpful in preventing vitamin and mineral deficiency, which is probably self-evident. However, the use of these supplements are being mistaken to have other effects, which could lead to the negligence of routines like exercise that are actually proven to be preventative for various comorbidities like cardiovascular disease. One such study indicated that with 14,000 men and over a period of 10 years, daily multivitamins did not have any preventative effects on heart attack and stroke, and a different meta-analysis in 2005 indicated that a high dosage intake of vitamin E supplements may actually lead to an increased mortality rate. Unless you're unable to take in certain vitamins, these supplements are in fact largely unnecessary. 4. Gluten-free is good for you, right? Awareness for celiac disease has grown in recent years thanks to the rise in popularity of the gluten-free diet. However, gluten-free diets aren't like every other diet. When adopted unnecessarily, it can lead to a lack of proper vitamins, minerals, and fiber normally found in grain-enriched foods. There's also been a rise in the number of cases of non-celiac gluten sensitivity, a condition similar to but separate from a celiac disease or a wheat allergy. Concerns with the accuracy of self-reported non-celiac gluten sensitivity have been raised, and a randomized crossover trial indicated that gluten consumption did not generally affect patients with self-reported sensitivity. So what does this mean? While non-celiac gluten sensitivity is indeed a thing, it's important to check with your doctor before going all in on such a diet, as it can lead to a deficiency in the necessary nutrients you normally receive. And number 5. Artificial sweeteners are a healthier alternative to real sugar. Diet sodas are marketed as better, calorie-wise alternatives to traditional soft drinks. The main difference comes from the replacement of sugar with artificial sweeteners including compounds like aspartame and saccharin. Artificially sweetened beverages carry less calories, since sweeteners like aspartame are many hundred times sweeter than regular old sucrose, and therefore are only needed in very small quantities. However, despite carrying fewer calories, they can still contribute just as much to obesity. A 2014 study in Nature showed that obesity-associated changes can still be caused by artificial sweeteners, particularly by changing the function of bacteria in the digestive system. Reports have also noted that very few differences for both health and obesity outcomes exist between diet soft drink and regular soft drink consumers. Ultimately, if you're feeling healthy, stick with water. And that's your list. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Demystifying Medicine channel for more health and educational videos.